Hey guys, it's Starting coming at you with another game of Total War 3 Kingdoms. 190 expanded, the best mod in the world. We're here with Gong, the Yellow Turbans, and our lands, you know, are modest, but our ambitions are sky high. Now, what we've got is a very decent faction rank for being in 198, right? We're doing fine, and somebody like Chong guy has managed to like take over the civil war there with Dong Zhuo's faction. You know, a little unique, but so what we're doing right now is finishing off the Chens here. And, you know, we do need to do it ourselves because, is it a field battle? It's a huge field battle. We need to do it ourselves because it's a huge field battle. He said it's more than our struggle. It's China's. Then, like, our guys' outfits keep getting more complex. They keep on throwing more vests on. Not Gongdu's, but, you know. Alright. From behind us there. Now, we imagine they're going to be trying to act all squirrely, but if we just... I'll put the zealots in the way into the trees to intercept there. Probably. And a couple of these guys just to be annoying on the front. And he's got a bow now, so we can use that. This guy doesn't have very much range block chance, and they both have some. Yeah, we'll just shoot at him or at Red Cav if we can get it, because yeah, they're all on the field here, but so they might actually, we might actually have a lot of trouble here. But this guy wants to duel me. No, I'm okay. These guys like burned down a little bit of the land there. They just couldn't help themselves. See, the thing is, right, is they only have a very small amount of cav, which at least there's that. Now we're shooting at him, which isn't doing anything for us. This guy's got a Wisdom of the River. Let's pick on him. So the longer they wait over here, of course, the better it is for me. I rather want my army to be able to show up. But, you know, we're just shooting our tribal recurve bow, because even though, you know, they've all got missile block, but, you know, we might as well. Because if they're just going to wait, we'll get into position, and then we'll be fine. We can get them to come to us. Relatively confident in that. Yep, there you go. Now they've seen my reinforcements coming. So they're like, okay, this was all fun and games till they started shooting at our strategist. But if we can get him down before much else happens, which we should be able to do, right? Like, maybe we'll duel you after we run out of our bows and arrows. crossbow won't open up for a little while still. It's like, do you want to duel Zhang Kai? He'll duel you. Or like, Zhehe, he'll duel you also. Stop picking on the thinker here. But we need to not do the duel until we take this guy out. Is he unbreakable? No, he just wants to get hit a little more. We're gonna back out here. And here we just want to, yeah, there we go, beautiful. I'm like, I'm sure these G militia are not gonna be able to fight for too long. Because if we could just get these spears to not be here on the front. So I don't want to get unhorsed, even though it may not matter. We're just going to charge right under these cav. It doesn't go well. It's okay. So we need to get around the back, preferably with, like, everybody, because I'm not that afraid of their heroes, right? And we drifted off a little bit there. Importantly, though, if you're not, like, in motion against the spears, they don't usually unhorse you. They do here, but, you know, we're fine, because enough of us are online. I think. Nope. Okay, yeah, okay. Everybody got unhorsed while we got distracted. Well, it'll still be fine. Yeah, very, very bad there. We must have ran right into him while we were trying to go around, but we'll still be okay. Because this is when it's good that our army is stronger than theirs, right? And I was like, yeah, we'll do better than the auto, I said, lying. You know, we should have deployed back to get all of our army here, because we had the ranged advantage from our artillery. And instead, I mean, it worked. But here, these peasant spears get all the way into the cookie jar. Beautiful stuff. Because the peasants are not bad at fighting, they just don't want to fight for an extended period of time. And we're working on that. Alright, so for all that it was messy, it's getting better now. There we go. Yeah, because, I mean, they don't swing very often, but they got really big AP values. And, you know, a nice 10 bonus first large. But, importantly, they are affordable. And they'll only get better. Because these, well, they've got the buff of, like, 50 morale. That's not yet, right? But, you know, we'll have it soon. Oh, yes, indeed. Multi-bolt crossbow gets 300 kills, amazing. Our cavalry gets totally crunched because they're not, like, hardy. But now I've given them enough morale to get very beat up, so they get very beat up. Go me, right? But this will be the last stand of Chen Gui, and that will be excellent, right? Getting rid of these minor factions is very, very good. I mean, I'm sure he didn't feel like he was minor. But hopefully we'll make a big old chunk of money off of it and get to spend it on, you guessed it, buildings. They pay for themselves eventually. I used to, you know, coming from Warhammer, it's like you never build econ buildings unless special circumstances. And here, it's so refreshing for it to actually be good in Three Kingdoms. Then in this mod, of course, all income types, depending on where you're at, can be viable. Peasantry income is very solid and is indeed one of my favorite things to do. I love a granary, right? Boom, 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 boom. But we roll over Chen Gui here, and like I think they're all breaking, right? No. Well, they will be soon. That's right. They've got their special archers, so they will be a lot of balance of power tied up in them. Oh. And the strategoi is now going to run away. Their army lossing. Their army lossing. At least I thought it was true. There you go. Boom, baby. Getting our cavalry totally tuned up again, as always. But, you know, the job of the cavalry is to be expensive and not get me value because I'm bad. That's what they're here for. No, I just panicked them because our front line was collapsing. They did a job, you know. Sun Guan, you are reckless, intimidating, and defiant. Well, it's all over for you, baby blue. 不能再消耗物资看压他们了，百姓定会单食湖江，夹道欢迎。暂缓行动。And here, so we want to move this army back probably, and then we'll use just this army to beat Donglai, and we'll have this one probably forward here to defend this place, thinking that these stacks, meager though they are, with some walls, will be able to get it done. Here, it's like... You know, the morale is decent, but research rate is research rate. Yeah, we'll just get that. We'll play the long game on this guy, right? Because research rate is, you know... We got 100 from the temple, but getting a little bit more from a couple more places, you know, you can't argue with that. You certainly cannot. Not if you're me. Alright, and so he can get to recovery through this one, which is very desirable. And this gives us armor for the army, which is pretty desirable. And if he was commanding, you know, some stuff, but I'm pretty sure we'll just keep Gongdu in command, because he's got the night battle thing also anyway, so yeah. And our military supplies are no problem. But you know, our faction support is... So I guess maybe it starts out at whatever your per turn is, so having a lot, you know, carries over pretty quick. But all right, wonderful stuff. We make like 3 grand on the post-battle loot, and this place makes us negative money. Hmm. Oh, because this is a grain farm, which is percentile income from peasantry. Got it. Well, you know, it makes some food anyway. And we're gonna give him a bunch of food. Alright, well, if you're not going to want to pay me much, then I'll just give you, like, 5 food for free. Oh yeah, because he doesn't have all of what he needs there. But, I mean, this is a trade port, right? Yeah, so we might have to keep giving him food forever. That's alright. Alright, so we could save to try to go to level 8 here in like a turn or two. I do like that plan. Well, we're also going to need to be upgrading this money place. That's more important than getting these to a higher level also. Alright, well, good deal. But of course, first we have to deal with the remnant of Chen Gui here, who probably isn't going to just attack us. Hopefully he won't, like, make to see or anything. But it looks like he's just chilling. Alright, we're going to say that frugality is important. Gets us this monk. Ah, for a labor recruiter. Very good. Well, we will take that here. And get more population where he runs things. Good stuff. Oh yeah, we got an heirloom spear now. Can anyone even use it? Yes, the advisor can use it. Like, it's even better? Yeah, because it doesn't lower your expertise and, you know, swings a little faster, a little bit more AP. Yeah, yeah, it's better. It's clearly better. Nico, hello, hello, good morning. Unless it isn't for you, in which case, good time of day. Alright, and now we're going to roll up here and hit them, and they're going to run. And Gongdu can't catch them? That is incredibly obnoxious. Russia. Ah, well. Welcome, welcome. I've read a great many of your people's books, and great aficionado of Russian literature. And classical music and stuff, too. Big fan. But, you know, all the great... As you see from my books behind me, I like books and stuff. But, you know, Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Goncharov, you know, Lermontov, Pushkin, you know, Chekhov. You know, can't get enough of them. I was actually just reading The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Tolstoy at work the other day. Not because I was thinking about Ivan Ilyich particularly, but because it was on my shelf and I wanted to read it. Again, I mean, I've read it before. Alright, so we're just going to leave him over there and carry on with our plan. Yeah, so if we just bum rush the show here, what's the worst that'll happen? It's not that bad, and we'll deal with our problems. Yeah. So we're just going to go right here, and then we'll pop this garrison. You're also a fan of classical literature? Awesome, awesome. Oh, you're in like-minded company, then. Good deal. Alright, so we're going to get this Charm Maker's Workshop. We do want to keep on saving the rest of the money, though, because I think going to A tier is the most desirable thing. And yeah, we'll go up here and take Donglai, and then he'll probably do a crackback somewhere over here, and we'll suffer a little bit for it, but I feel like just getting this commandery right now, we'll be able to swing over here and counter him. And he's got problems with Daoying and stuff, and we just want to move on him there before this gets resolved, so we can start. Ooh, look, Hong Xiao took care of the farmland over here, so Cao Cao's on the back foot there again. Wonderful stuff. Get wrecked, buddy. Alright, so do we want to build anything then? No, we want to be patient with the cash. Yes. It's so hard to do. Like, do we want to get this level 3 person, though, on the grounds that she's level 3? No, we want to save the money. Well, we'll probably get enough to do it after this post-battle loot. We'll save it anyway, though. And, you know, we might have something to do here on our main setup soon, but I think what's going to happen is Liu Bei is not going to come across the river at our capital. If he does, though, we're ready for him. We beat Liu Bei and the brothers in Leon with a box of scraps, okay? With, like, a peasant army without our real guys. We've got, like, a proper good garrison in there with, like, good towers. And Cao Cao has invited Liu Bei into their coalition. Yeah, he gets around. I'm just kidding. I love Liu Bei. Those guys are my favorite. Exactly, because like we got 155 supplies here, unless they do the thing where they get rid of all of them, which would be annoying. But you know, we've got like these are good. These are unbreakable Yosha guys. Like these guys aren't gonna run. There's only 8 of them in a unit, but they gotta get them all the way down. You know, we got our stalwart shields. We're defending, so we get a huge morale buff on top of the morale buff on top of the morale buff. What we want to do here is... Oh yeah, there you go. Boom! Knowledge of the Spirit. And then, right on time, he gets his 18 morale bubble. That would make it pretty good. And then we also have, you know, a 3 stack of just guys to assist. They don't have really good weapons, but they have enough. Aha, they broke up the band. That is so good to see, right? That's what you very much want to see. When you beat their army one time, it's likely enough that Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei will never end up in the same army before, making them liars about the oath, tisk tisk, but also making it much, much easier for you to beat those stacks, because the three of them together means one of them's probably going to get that old oath sworn kick, which means you might have a bad time. Speaking of a bad time, that's the end of Chen Gui, whose house featured prominently in our last campaign when we weren't playing the Yellow Turbans. So this time, get wrecked, buddy. You get basically nothing from any of these things. We'll take the supplies, even though it isn't relevant, I think. Here, we do not need the replan at all, so we're going to march. Because the guy here is probably going to attack one of these places as soon as we attack here. The thing is, that doesn't matter to us specifically. Oh, Wong Wong. Just being a menace. He has made landfall over here, so, you know, for all we know, he's about to pop off. He's got the CJI, though, so he won't ever go too far. Alright, and we do get just enough to level this up. Oh yeah, we still have the post-battle loot from this. Well, alright, let's get to it. And, you know, this makes Ying Xiao upset. That's surprising. Now here, we have to do it ourselves, because we can't be taking casualties. We gotta continue this war, right? Also, because now I have a multiple bullet crossbow, and now I like doing sieges. I love this dude's outfit though. I'm like, yeah, let's get a sweet vest, Shuhe. Let's get a sweet vest, and then let's get like some awesome feathers on the belt, and then layer that with some more furs. Like that's my idea of a great time. Do I have vests and furs and feathers? No, not personally, but you know, aspirationally, I could one day. Alright, so what we want to do is go... Alright, in the rain, we know we're going to have a tougher time getting in. So we need to be quite deliberate here. I think popping the corner is the way to go. Well, no, this corner is bad, isn't it? Yeah, this corner is much more desirable. We'll still be able to burninate what we need to do. It's just gonna be a little messier, and we need to, you know, be super annoying. The thing is they don't have a big garrison at all. We do just need to be able to get in, though. There's nobody here, but it's like the stack and then the little half stack from the garrison building, so not even a good garrison building. Even in the rain, we're going to do a fine job of doing the fire damage. I lie. No, we're not, actually. It's going to be very bad. It'll be okay, though. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was a much better volley. Clean. We'll dance on up, and then... Yeah, man, multiple crossbow, my beloved, doing everything you need done. Because if they want to stand on the tower, first of all, I bet they don't. And then we're just going to go, because once the towers are down, we can just go knock on the gate with our heroes. One more volley, you'll get this one, and then we'll be able to hit here. I love my multiple crossbow. I think it'll get it. We'll actually go ahead and finish it off there. Sorry, I don't have the auto-translate turned on. And unfortunately, I do not know the Russian language, like, at all. I know a very small amount of words that you learn from literature, but nothing else. And here we are getting beset by the Trebs. The thing is, though, is that the Treb is fearsome to me because I'm like a nervous sort. But really all the Bastion Artillery is going to do is kill like a whole unit if you don't do something about it. And you just get a lot of guys on them, then... But this battle will be over in a tidy fashion. We're going to get off of our horses and hit the gate, because it's easier to hit a gate when you're off your horse. And then also when you inevitably... Like, I can't believe we haven't gotten it yet. There we go. It's so nice seeing damage resistance. Like, our faction has a ward save. This looks amazing. Oh, yes, yes. Thank you. I am glad you think so too. No, I put on the auto-translate, like, when they first did it, but it kept on, like, bothering me. They kept on translating stuff that was, like, in English that, like, happened to be a word of something else, you know? But... I'm no scholar or anything. Like, I don't even know the phonetics of Cyrillic script, you know, so I couldn't even, like, say what the sounds are supposed to be, let alone know any of the words. But I've read a great many translations. I'm a very basic person right now. My favorite classical music piece is Rachmaninoff Concerto No. 2, but if you wrote Rachmaninoff's name down in a Cyrillic script, I would not recognize it. I'd be like, these are definitely letters. I'm so ignorant, right? It's like, I play this game and I say every single name wrong. I can't help it. I really like this setting, and I just, like, I literally can't do anything right. Alright, the good news is that We're going to be in soon enough, and this tower's burning down. No, as soon as we get inside, you know, this blob fight is going to favor us dramatically. All you got to do on a siege, right, is what we're doing here. You just got to take care of all the free damage, because in this game, like, oh boy, towers are really good, right? And, you know, bastard artillery, pretty good. But if you just... I mean, bastard artillery is okay. Bastard artillery is like... because it's only one model in the unit. So they do, like... they do twice as much damage, right? But there's 4 models in an artillery unit, so it ends up being where, you know, you end up just fine. And although we don't have anything to get the gate down very well, I mean, at this point we could go on the wall, right? Yes, that is correct. But we are about to get the gate. No, we are not at all about to get the gate. Okay, so I made a classic blunder. If you put regular guys on there, then they'll stop your dudes from hitting the gate. They're not really good at hitting the gate, your generals, but they're a little good at doing it. And your infantry can't do it at all. There we go. They were getting in the way, and now we'll get like a couple percentage. Right, we'll bang on the door with our hammers. Like, you could try too, buddy. Yeah, so like if you keep them engaged, they lost focus again. I'm like, none of those strikes hurt. But now we're running up the wall, and the zealots of the way are gonna have a time. And just in time for them to jump on the wall, you know, we get in through the gate, so good for us. But now we've juiced up all of our stuff. We are preaching and barricading, and I know that it's not going to be long before the shouting is all that is done. So I love Three Kingdoms sieges. I don't love them if I don't have a siege weapon, though, right? Because the sieges are amazing. Coming from a Warhammer background, which is principally what I play in Total War, right, is Warhammer. Although you wouldn't know it from my recent played. I'm quite enamored of this mod. But and Warhammer sieges are often just very frustrating or pretty not fun or whatever. But here, because the defensive stuff in a siege is so good, they can be annoying to do, sure, but they're very rewarding. And when you do a siege defense, because the stuff is so good, you can get away with a lot. And frankly, compared to Warhammer cities, a lot of these seem practically designed to be defended, even though plenty of them have their own problems. But now that we're here on the wall with all 3 of these fellas, I imagine, you know, we'll get them down soon. These are just spear guards, so after eating that charge, you know, it doesn't matter that it's a frontal charge if they're already engaged. It might have unhorsed us if we were capable of getting unhorsed, but you can get cavalry off of horses on purpose, which is awesome. It's so fun. And the best thing in the world is when you get the computer to do that. And like in a siege for like a gate pass is the only times I really see it happening. But you can do it a couple other times too if you sally out and beat their siege weapons. They will get their cavalry off of their horses and climb the walls, but then they lose, you know, the mobility and the speed that makes cavalry, so they're just guys with cav stats with very, very low model counts. who, you know, can't really do much except get beat up. Or, crucially, shot by towers for incredibly high value. Archers are all out of ammo. That's how you know it's been a good siege. Because even without a garrison, right, like you're kind of just shoestringing it. A lot of the time with an army like this, you know, we're using pretty basic archers. They're not good we're pretty basic horsemen, pretty basic cavalry. You know, we've got a core of very, very solid green infantry and great heroes, and everything's just, you know, following along with that. But hey, you know, if it works, it works, and it is currently working. And importantly, one multiple bolt crossbow, which I honestly think this campaign would be over if I didn't have it, and not because I would have won already.
今日此胜，乃承天之恩泽。
Here in a couple of years, we'll be able to research better range and ammo. That will be nice, but... And there we go, the Hipstone line. We have got this now, and we promote an uncommon talent from among the populace. Chen Gui, who has this philosopher thing, which we might put on if it becomes, you know, what we think will, if we need more satisfaction. You know, we're starting to get a little bit of unhappiness, right, with some people, but I believe, yeah, the thing that we're researching here in one turn, it's going to give us 8 morale and 8 satisfaction, so that's going to be excellent. And then from there, you know, we'll figure out what we're going to get once we get it. Well, now we have... Alright, so we made so much money on the post-battle loot that we're going to be able to... Alright, yeah, we definitely want to get the Brother Garrison, because the level 4 one gives us the better towers, and then... Or rather, no, we need to go to Large City immediately. We have tons of food from these pickups. Yeah, city size more important than the other things because it takes slightly longer, and then we'll hit this. And we have to be prepared for the crackback over here, and be prepared for it. I mean, be aware that it's going to happen. Can't do anything about it. We could have, like, gotten an army, but that's not what I mean. Yeah, we'll take insight here for the research rate because it's my favorite, and then range block chance, which is just, I mean, broadly speaking, very, very acceptable and can range into being incredibly good in the later game. But, you know, that research rate, 265% now, because when you see a number like that, you're like, you're really churning through. And these are very powerful researches. Basically, everything that we get access to is something desirable or quick. And it gives us faction standing, right, for this. So if we're getting, you know, this is the way to get prestige. Do we even get it from the base? Yeah, we don't even get prestige from the base level buildings. I think there's probably a yellow building that gives it. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit of enlightenment out of the Grand Temple of Eternal Reason. But we won't need it. We won't need it. We'll take our enlightenment from the living, right? We're going to get her because I'm going to assume that... Yeah, well, you know, income from industry. You know, we might want to swap her around somewhere else. Jade Statue of Confucius, very cool. We'll be able to, you know, we're not Confucians, but we'll be able to get some good use out of that. Alright, so public order in the commandery, which isn't likely to be that important, right? Yeah, well, she's already got the resolution thing, which would be the most important. Then I guess we can... We won't need that one. If we go up this way... We got 3 points. Yeah, we'll take this, and that'll give, you know... that very desirable side of things, yes. And then we will make her in charge of this commandery, I think. Unless she's got something that makes her terrible at it. She's actually quite good at it. She'd be better as an industry commandery, but... And she'd be very good at that, but we're gonna wait to shuffle that around, right? Or, I mean, no, like, he'll make people unhappy here, but he's a builder. You know, I bet, and this makes the construction cheaper, I bet he'll be good at this, right? And if he's... Because, you know, discounts on the buildings, now we're talking. I don't think it goes into effect yet, but maybe it did. Alright, and now he's the local leader of Donglai. Okay. Oh, the tax collector is why he has that anyway. Yeah, so... And then when he levels up, he'll get that lower time. Like, builder makes him have lower cost, you know. Yeah, that's all to the good. And we totally don't need this peasantry exploit anymore. No, it's this one we don't need, but we'll wait for these to finish up, and then we'll orient some new ones. There's also whatever's going to happen on that front to worry about. All right. Well, it's the spring of 199, and all's well. We've got a jade statue of Confucius for the Yellow Turbans. The thing is, though, is now, I'm like, do these guys count as militia units? I think so. I think so. But pretty soon, next turn, we're going to start seeing these stacks become pretty reputable, because that 8 morale is going to make a huge, huge difference, and then we're also going to get... I think we might target the +2 morale afterwards. It'll only be a couple of turns. Yep, and then there's this Dianwei, Zuchu, and Yushin, Enforcer of the Law are here. Do we think we can get much done against them here? We don't have any cavalry. Yeah, it's like maybe we could have gotten something done. I mean, it actually gets a little bit of beat up there, but... Hey, our arcade! Good morning, my friend. How are you? I am on the first day of my vacation. It would be my normal day off, but it's all part of my vacation. No work for 9 days. Only the joy of air conditioning, and hopefully my skin on my hands will go back to normal before I go back to work. It's a hard knock life, buddy. For us. All right, and then here we're going to try to hold this against them, because I am sure that we can make them pay. Now, will we win? I don't know. Maybe not. It would have been a whole lot better if this was one turn later and we had our 8 morale. But we can definitely make them pay for this. make them pay. Like, this land was probably his, like, 3 days ago. No, not this specific one. This was what we took for Chen Gui. But we knew this was going to happen. The tempo favors us, though. Like, losing these minor settlements is acceptable because now we've isolated a whole block of the land that is now safe. Are they all going to be over here? It looks like they're all going to be over here. We'll just leave a couple of things there, as is tradition. Square a little forward of it, you know, and just, because what we need to do is, you know, keep them pinned outside of the towers and let the towers hit them a lot. Is it going to work? Probably not. Would it be better to try to do it inside here? Maybe. Importantly, okay, so it's Tenacity of Steel on him and Wisdom of the River there. They don't have any, like, big crushers of morale. And I don't think they have... They do have fire arrows. So, well, you know, they do have fire arrows, actually. Well, that means we are going to go back and fight under these towers, which we are moderately more likely to be able to protect from catching on fire. All right, well, you know, they were smarter. They were smarter than I hoped. If only it was raining, right? But yeah, they, you know, towers are burning down. Very minimal damage to the militia. I no longer think we're going to be able to win this one. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. And, you know, getting whatever damage we can is good. And we already didn't take the auto-resolve, so we can't just leave now and get nothing. And these towers, although meager, will at least do something, you know. A little bit of something. Hey, and they're walking in their own flames, so, you know, get wrecked. You guys look like dummies. Something I would do. Something I regularly do. And this side's burnt there. It's like, are these guys getting shot from this tower? I think so. At least there's something, right? We're just fast forwarding a bit. Here, we're just eating every arrow if possible. Look, these are the only ones who have shields, so, like, here at 70% missile block, this is as good as the taking the arrows can possibly be, so at least we're doing it, right? We're, look, if they don't make a move soon, we'll win. Not really. If we get our archers here, we outrange all of the archer militia. Yeah, there you go. We'll take this opportunity to move against them, such as it is. And then we'll get the spears right here. No, right here if we can. Yes, right on time for the Cav to try this gambit. get all these guys on the militia, you know. It hasn't gone super well, but crucially, these towers are still up. Like, yeah, but no, they're having a total party here, yeah. Because our morale is not too hot. Getting charged by Cav there, you know. And most of our archers are just clumped. Pretty bad play from us the whole time, right? It's alright. Look, we didn't need to win this. It would have been nice to do better. We see that a bunch of fire arrow archer militia is the equal of a small garrison, despite what I may have said insultingly about them. For that matter, this one unit of mounted saber militia, right, has been fighting... Okay, most of these guys haven't. I was like, how have they killed this many? They haven't. They've just killed, like, a few. Yeah, what we need to do is be more careful on these fights, right? Because if we, when we have some time to think, because now, look at me, you know, we could flank them, right? You don't have to have a blob fight on their terms. We've got more troops, you know? Yeah, amazing. You're locked in here with me. And of course, they aren't really locked in there with me. But we beat this guy up pretty bad. Oh, never mind, yeah. A lot of these guys get beat up very bad against the spears, so we do our part. You know, because now that's going to make them a little hesitant in the future. They might even go back to where they were before. I mean, after they take this. Or they'll have to stay here for a bit, and then we'll catch them. But yes, our towers doing the work. Doing the work we hoped the exterior towers would do. But, you know, you get what you get. Trying to get these spears engaged with him. Come on, library boy. I ain't through with you. I say that fondly. I myself am a library boy. And this one unit of yellow cav. But in fairness, they aren't prepared for the mighty rush of the peasant spears. With a charge bonus of 22, they technically arrived attacking the foe. But, you know, for all that it wasn't a successful defense, we beat up on them very, very badly. And that could be the difference between, like, a cozy auto-resolve and having to pay attention. Come on, Saber Militia! You and your horsemen are no match for the Yellow Turbans! Yes! Yes! This is what the fight was really about. Right here. Get wrecked. Yeah, you better run. Gonna send you back to Mama in a cardboard box. Oh no, the other guys are on the victory point now. Keep chasing the horsemen! We're gonna run this way, hoping that when he runs outside, the tower will shoot him in the back. Let's creep bop. Yes! Yes, it's working! Boom, get wrecked, buddy. Of course, he's got resilience, and this actually isn't a good result for us, because now he'll be back with full life, but it's about sending a message. Man, those archer militia with fire arrows, right? Really just fire arrows are good, which we already knew. But I mean, I think, you know, fine compared to the auto-resolve. we beat up very badly on all their heroes instead of, you know, the units, which may have taken more. Well, I guess we just knocked 2 down a resilience, which doesn't matter much. Well, you know, it's about sending a message. Oh, and he moved down there. That's excellent. That's as good as it could be. Because, well, Dionwei might move this way here. Even in the event that he does, he doesn't get here that quick. Now, these are scary, scary generals. All 3 of them, very scary generals. But the Iron Mines garrison is bad, I say. But, you know, it's not that bad anymore. Now that we've just researched our amazing technology, all of our units are dramatically better. And, you know, hero's perseverance. Be resolute but not boastful. Resolute but not haughty. Resolute but not arrogant. Resolute because you cannot avoid it. Resolute but not violent. And that is how to persevere as a hero. We're about to be so virtuous up in here. Alright, what kind of virtues do we want to pursue? This encourage compassion thing is sort of interesting to me. Reduces local recruitment cost and upkeep and increases morale when defending, you know. But maybe we can find a higher impact thing than that. I'm sure we can. We could get retinue upkeep. Retinue upkeep is desirable eventually. Retinue upkeep right now, okay, let's just do the math. Back of the envelope. You know, 150 per 1,000. We're only saving, what, 650 for getting that? That's a lot of money, but it's not like... It's not so much that we definitely should spend 9 turns on it, right? And we've lost our big research from Liu Zhen. You know, maybe we should just work on something smaller and reasonable here. You know, maybe... Yeah, let's just get a little population growth. And, while we move here, because we have to get this back, but we will. We will get it back. And here, crucially, we're going to be able to roll up on this. So this is perfect, right? Because through the strength of our power there, we were able to roll up on it. Now, what we need to do is... He doesn't have another army right here. Yeah, we can... if he marches across... This is the way to go. This army is in fine shape. I think we actually march here, because what we'll do is just hit this auto, because we deserve it. And that's why, you know, because... Entirely because of our defense, we were able to come back. Get him done here, and... We're going to ignore the forced migration advice, because forced migration is not very nice. Yeah, I said it. I don't think you should make people do that. I know, I know. How do I get the courage? Alright, does this guy need to run the army? No, and so if we let him run the army... doesn't matter, does it? We'll take the fire arrows because we need the fire arrows. Yeah. Alright, 5 grand. Now we need this guy. Is he like in an army over here? Yes, okay, so we need him to recruit a garrison stack, and then we'll disband him and get somebody else. Sun Yan, you can go and be your administrator self. And then we'll get this farmer here. No, we will get this potter here. Hey, Ellie, how was China this morning? Oh, it's wonderful, you know, under the yellow sky, all are pursuing Taoist enlightenment, and it's not at all a cover for banditry. You know, things are fine. Things are good. So this is the greater Shangdong Peninsula here, you know, this little cutout. And we now have Yellow Turban to most of it. We've lost the Grand Temple, which, you know, very sad. But we'll get it back. And these guys oath sworn up. The thing about our guys there, they are not, like, immortal, so we have to be super careful with all of them. The only ones that are immortal are the ones in the main stat. Well, they're not immortal. They have what's called resilience, right? Not immortality. But resilience is just where if you die on the battlefield, you don't die in real life. And most of the Han characters get it through their armor or through a trait or something, but... Or you get it at, like, some level. But here, like, I don't know if we get it at all for free on these guys, like... No, maybe at level 4 we get it. Yeah, because this guy doesn't have it, and these two have it. So maybe at level 4 we do get a resilience point, just like normal. So there's at least that. We had a guy, you know, valiantly die against my boys of Shuhan. I mean, there are enemies, right? Speaking of, here's Zhang Fei's stack now, and he's hanging out with the Lady Gong. I think that's Lady Gong. On my, they just gave her a name. Just gave her a name. She should have had a name all along. Yeah, I know. I'm brave. Here, yeah, we're just gonna march it because I want to get back into it. I wanna feel the way we felt again whenever we had our glorious Temple of Discovery. And I also want to fight Zhu Chu. I don't want to... See, the bad thing about playing, like, Yellow Turbans or Nanmen or what, like, people that can't recruit Han is it makes me do things that I would never want to do. But I can't. I just can't. I can't kill Su Chu. He's my boy. There's plenty of people I like in this game that I'll still pop for a good weapon, but, like... You can't ask me to kill Zhu Chu or like Guan Yu. Like I can't. He makes my leader unsatisfied. Oh, Wang Kuang came here and fought Liu Bei. Liu Bei beat him, and then they peaced out. Good for them. Wang Yun is over here with Guo Jia, who's still with the Han in 199. Good for them, right? That's amazing. Love that. And, you know, the Yellow Turban menace is menacing out that way. Got to love it. It is my jam. All right, our assignments have rolled up. Now, that means we need to... All right, so provisions assignment, crucial. This one gets our military supplies up all the way. And then we are going to... All right, we have just a couple of slots left. So if we promote wisdom, that's good... for, like, everybody in general. And it also boosts your recruit rank. Here, these Turban Warriors need to get dropped. That's not what this army is for. This army is not to cost money.
定国安民。
And, like, I hope they're still there, but they probably went back home, because this is, like, a crazy place to go to for Cao Cao. Like, is he at war with Dao Ying anymore? I don't think so, though, yeah. Yeah, so he goes all the way around here to grab this temple, but now, like, you know, where your military supply is going to come from, bro.
井中有诈。
Alright, so we just need to... Alright, what fell off here? Yeah, we can... Development plan here, and hit that building, which will unlock the next level of mine. And then here, we'll just hit the construction thing, so we'll get super quick building here in a couple of turns, whenever that is. What comes up? Agro-exploitation is making us, well, I mean, probably a decent chunk of money, but we are actually, wowza, yeah, okay, so really doing okay on cash at the moment. Oh, because Gongdu got back in here, so his army got a lot cheaper because of the discount. Well, a lot cheaper, 12%. 12%'s a lot. Yeah, okay, so that's what's going on. Got it. Alright, do we need to... change these? No, not really. Alright, we have so much food.
有话快说。
And we're gonna get peace with him, but we're gonna make him pay us, you know, that's our...
我方接受。
Huzzah!
真喜讯也。很高兴见到足下。如此甚善。
Alright, so... peace there, because, like, we can't have peace with any, like, representatives of the Honorary, but this dude is just a little minor warlord dude. And anyway, it was a super long time ago that we had this little fight over here, and, you know, just in the interest of tidying up. Obviously, we'll fight him again if we get to him. But we've got other frying fish in the frying fryer, as people don't say. Now, what we do have, though, is gigantic food surplus with pretty high-level buildings, which means we're just going to be able to push even more buildings. Now, we could afford another army. If we can make ourselves not afford another army for a few more turns, though, we're going to be able to turn that into a gigantic economic benefit, and I think we can get away with not doing it. Because I don't think they have an army here, and that means we can go and besiege this. I doubt they come across here to support it, and with Gongdu right here, you know, there's pressure on them there, and they've got other... They've got... Oh yeah, they're at war with Cao Cao as well, so they hardly are going to want to just jump all the way over here. Yeah, I think we're going to get into an okay spot here. Now, she is posturing towards Leon there. Hopefully they won't win that. That would be, you know, a little messy, and we'd have to spin up an army here. But hopefully it won't come to that.
胸怀中正。
But yeah, now we have 50 morale on our cav. All we have to do is stop using them badly. You know, they're not like amazing cav because they're half and half with AP and regular attacks, so their charge bonus is going to be evenly distributed. Ouch. Alright, so what happens is, of course, Liu Bei rolls over our buddies there at Leon. Now, he can't beat us here. This is messy. We might need to have, like, a semi-permanent peasant force here, which is fine. It's not that expensive. Alright, so... here we're going to shake the distinguished person who doesn't offer his hand. Oh, we're supposed to ignore this nonsense. Yeah, it's like we have to shake one of their hands. No, we don't. I'm bigger than all that, you know. If it would have let me shake both of their hands, I would have been like... But that was not what was given. Alright, now... yeah, we'll just have to spin up an army here, right? That is just what we'll have to do. Hong Kong is at peace with us, and so not a worry. Hong Shao, you know, he's got stuff going on. I'm not that worried about them taking this here. We do probably need to get a response team up, though. Alright, so we just need one of the red folk. Somebody we already have, preferably. Yes, you're level 3, why not you? And this guy, he's got this weird armor on which he's not supposed to have. Can we restore his shape? Yes, okay, there we go. When he leveled up, it gave him this better armor to wear, but it removed his beautiful face. His shining visage. But we have restored it to him. Alright, so... this guy can get us to a night battle, which very well might be good. Do we already have night battle? No. Okay, so you're the astrologer anyway, you know. You should know all about those battles of the night. Congratulations, you're in charge now. We'll give this fellow the old water clock for more replen. Alright, now these Yellow Turban warriors we don't need, but breaking them would cost money. So what we want to do is just recruit just a stack and then catch them out of position somehow. Or be able to break them off of the siege there. Well... I think now that we've got better morale in general, we can move to the Yellow Turban Archers rather than the Archer Defectors. I think that's totally fine. Just to get that bonus in armor. And this fellow, Huang Lao's Paragons, he can get, which are huge damage, decent little fighter guys. Oh, and they're cheap. Oh, and they're cheap. They cost like peasants amounts. And that's a lot better than a peasant is, right? Okay. I'm in love. They're so cheap. Now we're talking. Okay. They're a small unit, right? But they cost as much as a peasant, and, you know, I'm sure that a whole bunch of these guys in there smashing things is going to be great. Huge regular damage, and a decent stat line with evasion and armor. Yeah. And they can go into circles, so we can just, like, drop them in front of the army, and, yeah, and then we'll get some spears next turn. I'm not at all worried about this army popping our town here, but we do need to sort of stem the we're trying to do every priority at one time. And it might work. It might just do. Because this place is going to fall, and they definitely are not going to be able to get here in time, and that means that for all that, you know, the shifting sands are beneath the feet and all, we'll be able to get it done. And these guys didn't get that beat up on their approach, but they can't quite get here yet, and if they do get there, the night battle will work a treat on them. Alright, we've got plenty more assignments now. We should... You know, this would have been real good, the starting rank for recruits here. Huh. No, we'll, we'll worry about other things when the time comes to it. Or never. Need an industry kick there, but we don't have one. Here, you can just make, like, a zound of food. Yeah, we can just sell him some food. I mean, it's not a ton of money, but it's something. And it'll make sure that he keeps on being cool with us. Not like we have to worry about it. We have so much food. I don't want to sell it to anybody who could be, like, an actual proper rival, though. He's just like a dude, right? I mean, he was, like, part of the coalition and stuff, but, you know, he is rich but very poor, and I think he might like us in time a little bit if we let him see the fruits of the Taoist thought. And crucially, they just left. They just left. And if they come back... Oh, yeah, they had to disband Dianwei, or maybe they didn't... I think they had to, yeah. They probably are, like, poor, right? Get wrecked.
有话快讲，不还有要事。
So we'll take that next turn, and he'll probably run back home, and then we'll be able to slide down the mountain here. And then, of course, you know, the peninsula is okay. We'll need to get a force, hopefully an affordable one, and stick it, like, right here so that we can support this town all the time. Need to be in our lands, of course, for various reasons, and then we can get the local benefits of that force being there. And boom, we get our research rate back up. We'll get our population growth next turn, and then we'll see about what we want to do after that. We might just take pop growth again. And it looks like Zhu Chu just marched all the way back home. Lu Jung, you're fighting for Tao Ying? I mean, it makes sense. She would have been in the neighborhood. It's possible that, you know, he caught her eye. I love Lu Jung. That's my girl. Alright, so Yidun gets hit with unhappiness, but he's happy enough already. Alright, so he will have to fight this place first, and this garrison, depending on how many fire arrows they have, which looks like 0, you know. This garrison might be just fine for this. Well, Zhao Tingshu, we'll see if you have what it takes. Oh, you can equip a great axe? Nice. Better than a merely good axe. The great axe is pretty good. It's good, as they say. And here, crucially, Peasant Army continues to be amazing. Hongji, the healer, gets... Because the thing about Yellow Turban here is most times you don't get faction-wide bonuses from heroes just being there, but you do in the Yellow Turban. So you get satisfaction and negative corruption. You can get all sorts of really amazing bonuses from it. It's why I find the faction appealing, right? I love becoming very powerful. You know, it shows how righteous you are when you become very powerful. Now, if we could just give them Night Battle here. And put them in charge of the army. Alright, well, that's all to the good, isn't it? However, what are we doing here? Yeah, we can't win this, but what we can do is hold up here and threaten them a lot. Like, our money's sure going around a lot, but I think maybe some Diplo thing ended. Payment for the end of... Oh, no. It's that these buildings all got hurt. No, we just took this place. I don't know why the money's weird. Can't be the corruption. It's quite low still. And here we got like a peasantry and commerce thing. Where she is the industry one. Like, I don't think we need to give him the job. You know, he's got enough, right? It's a negative industry. I mean, this is fine. We don't care about the negative industry here. Now, this building... This is the one that gives negative public order to the neighboring ones. I don't think that's important for this place. to have. We will take the commerce thing here. Yeah, because I feel like that is fine. It'll be nice to get a commerce commandery set up. But, you know, for all that this is a great place to have, there are constant raids to be worried about from Han plotting. They're very great plotters, the Han. And now, of course, we are out of money, but not out of ability to get money. Of course, this army is a little pricey. Reform choice pending. Alright, what do we want to do? Now I'm thinking, you know, if we get this retinue upkeep. Because now, you know, it's a few more hundreds. And, you know, it scales well with all the other stuff. Well, how many turns is it? 6. I'm thinking we could get the boost in range, and that would make our siegecraft even better, right? And then we could pump the army's strength, but no, yeah, we'll just, if we can just get this, because if we get the cheaper retinues, then we can do the dream, which is to have lots and lots of armies of peasants that raid the enemy land, creating, you know, righteous rebellions who come and help out. Now, hopefully, Huang Shao will go and assist here. You know, he's sort of losing the plot on this front, but Cao Cao, you know, with the Zhao brothers, cousins, I forget. Anyway, they're all distant kinsmen, because the Cao clan, you know, before the adoption, they would have been the Zhao, of course. Of course, as we know from having recently been reading the book. I'm on chapter, like, 40 or something. It starts to get bleak at this part, right? Like, everybody's favorite characters start dying all the time. Not mine, they live for a little bit longer. But if we can get this defense against Ying Shao, that will be most excellent indeed. Ha ha ha, glorious. Our advisors predict a close victory, and I'll take it. I can't say no to free money, right? Gorgeous. Just what we wanted to see. Literally just. And that's how a powerful defense. But hey, you know, we've got good stuff going on in our faction, right? It's the year 200, so Han get a research every year, but like Nonmen and Yellow Turbans and bandits have a research rate like what I would be familiar with from Warhammer, right? Where you can get stuff faster based on your buildings. And we're at 275 now, which is like 15 times as fast as regular. Nobody knows how to do math. No one on the planet. Numbers don't mean anything. They're just highly symbolic things that could or could not represent reality. I'm only joking. All right. Now, the commerce building also boosts public order and satisfaction, which is just awesome, right? Now, what we want to do here is... You just want to go to ambush to try to see if they'll move forward in some way, and then we can catch them out. Alternately, we'll get here, and then hopefully we'll be able to... No, not here, because that would... That's the opposite. That would get their garrison. Yeah, here we go. and then maybe get Huangshao to move over. But in any case, Donglai has, you know, the decent garrison with, you know, I mean, his dudes are level 5. Oh, because they recruited at the other place. Right. And we're going to get the brother garrison here, because defensibility is the most important ability. Brother. Getting to level 7, though, gets us a whole new garrison, a whole new particular point of view. We can get that if we get 24 more coins. I'm pretty sure we'll get 24 more coins right here. And we're just going to go here to assist, you know, to show up for the battle and get some experience, right? We get more farmland, and we get a treasure. Ooh, a water clock. That's my favorite kind of clock. It sounds restful. Alright, and importantly, we have sufficient funds to order its construction, going to level 7. Level 7 gives you a building slot, and it gives you the very, very solid next level garrison of, you know, like, these are stalwartly middle of the line heavy infantry medium stuff, you know, so these are not cheap guys. These are not things that are going to be easily dislodged, you know. 80% missile block. You got these guys who won't break. We'll just you know, they'll give the people a time if they get there. Then of course we got our admins with our lancers. It's all very set up, right? We're about to need more spots than we can deal with the local leader positions. When we ascend, we'll get, I think, 3 more. Maybe it'll be just 1 more though, because it says plus 2, but we finally have embers at the top level, which gives us, you know, huge boot buffs. 15% ward save on every unit is just crazy in this game, where that's not the sort of thing that you get. You know, this place getting to level 5 is pretty important, but we'll have to wait on that. Did I go see the Hadestown Pro Shot? No. No, I saw the musical when it came here. You know, I went to Robinson and saw it a couple of years ago. I love me some Hadestown, yes. It was a wonderful performance. But no, I have not seen the professional shoot of it. Although that does sound most excellent. Do we want to get guerrilla warfare here? Guerrilla warfare buildings build us the embers, right? So getting that passively will be good in the long term, but actually, no, we need a garrison building here, yeah. That's what we need. Got to have the garrison. You know, even though it's right here, see, garrison also gives you reserves and, you know, comfort, you know. Really, it's about the comfort. Because if you don't have the reserves, then somebody comes up the water this way, you know, it doesn't take but 2 turns to get to here. And then if you don't have that, you know, what do you have? I used to... Normally, it's like, when I play Warhammer, I'm like, never build a garrison building. If you're going to lose it, just lose it. Never spend any money anywhere. But in this game, I'm like, no, you got to spend your money cultivating the countryside. Never seen it listed before. You want to from this? Yes, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, no, I didn't know it existed, and then there was a Tiny Desk concert of a couple of the songs that just came on like my autoplay, and I was like, I don't want to say cleaning because it'll sound like a lie, but as I recall, I was doing my once per 6 month sweeping of the floor. As I recall, it could be a lie, and I start listening, I'm like, what's going on here? This is good stuff. And then I'm like, wait, did you say everybody meet the Fates? I'm like, what's going on? And then I it's like the whole cast crammed in this thing, and just wonderful stuff. And yeah, that's when I got into it. And then I posted on the old Facebook back when I still had the account, and I was like, why did not anybody tell me about this? And my thoughtful cousin was like, it like won awards and stuff. I assumed that you would have heard of it anyway. And I'm like, ah, touché. No, she was polite about it. No. As with everybody in my family, and indeed everyone I've ever known in the arts, they are more than happy to give you recommendations. But, you know, you do have to ask, because after a certain amount of time, people are like, I have told them to read 1,400 plays. Like, I'm like this with books all the time. I'm like, have you ever considered reading? I'm like, no, hear me out. It's short and accessible. It's, I'm like, how do I pitch it to you? I'm like, it's sort of like, it's like true crime, but by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. No, I pitch everybody the same book. No, not really. Chronicle of a Death Foretold is just really good, and if I don't know a person that well, or I do know them well, and I know that they want a book that is 120 pages or less, that's the one I pitch. Have you ever read Chronicle of a Death Foretold? Oh, I love it. It's not really true crime-y, except in the broadest possible sense. It begins with a murder in this town, where we know who did it, and the rest of the book is the fictional unpacking of the situation. So sort of like true crime, but not really. Anyway. Some go fall tones and most people don't. Indeed. Look, I did not even know that the play Hamilton happened until, like, there was a public buzz and, like, articles in the New York Times about how you couldn't get tickets and stuff. And I have read all of the things that Alexander Hamilton, the man, ever wrote. I have been to Alexander Hamilton's grave. You know, I made a point to visit it when I was in New York City. Before the play came out, I wrote a poem, not a very good one, it wasn't, like, that expansive, in which I detail having been there before the play came out, and I still didn't know the play came out, and then I'm like, what do you mean they did a Hamilton play? And then I hear it, and I was like, ooh, marvelous. This is fun. As you may recall, I'm an aficionado of rap music, and so I had no problem stylistically with what went on. And I love, like, cheerful retellings of history where you pretend that people are much better than they are. Some people hate that. I'm like, look, if we're going to talk about Cicero, we're going to need to, like, smooth it out a little bit, right? Or it's going to sound bad. Chronicle of a Death Foretold. And it's a little novella link thing. It's from his later career, as I recall. Not like the latest of them, but I like post-2000, I believe. If we're going to talk about Cicero, could you tell us something? It would be. If I was the Mountain Goats, that would be the name of a song I did. No. Mountain Goats segue. So in Song for Cleomenes, he's talking about Cleomenes, who did all these bad things as the governor of Agrigentum, which we now know as Sicily. His words. And at one point he goes, you know, he's talking about the stuff and all the bad things he did. It's like, the list goes on, trust me. Cicero wrote it all down. And just like the delivery of it, mwah. Also, Mountain Goats have an excellent song called Against Agamemnon, which I was just thinking about the other day, apropos of being like, man, I hate Agamemnon. You know, this is gonna sound super edgy, but, like, I don't like the guy who thought that was a good plan. Alright, so here we are going to... Let me say that, indeed. Like, no matter which side of the war you're on, everybody hates Agamemnon. I think even Menelaus hates Agamemnon on account of how he knows that Agamemnon doesn't really care about what he cares about. Probably not that outrageous of an idea. Alright, well, we're going to do this battle because this is going to provide us with the money. Now, it says we're going to get a lot of casualties, but what we're really going to do is a beautiful job. It's not going to rain, And we'll be fine, yeah. Not a lot of trouble here. Man, the rain's rough, right? Like the double roll for the Peach and the Odyssey. I thought that was excellent. I thought it was a bit of genius because it's very satisfying for the modern. Because for all that, I guess there are some people who like look at Helen and are like, I don't like her. You know, what a bad person. Like madness, right? But like Helen as a character is, I mean, characterized almost entirely by a lack of agency. And it was very nice for me as a viewer, and I think for the modern audience, to see her face, if not her character, given to the rage and violence that very much should have been hers. You know, like, that is a long-suffering woman there. There's, you know, a trend, if you can call it that, in some strands of analysis, if you can call it that, to just be like, it's all her fault anyway, but, like, we know what kind of people those people are, right? And, alright, are we gonna just... Yeah, if we go in this way, we can get to the middle and crack. If we go here... Well, they have a bastion there and there, though. Like, how best to get in? If we had a trebuchet, but we don't have a trebuchet. Bastion there could be a problem. It's a little messy. I think if we just go here, though. Because all we really need to do is there a bastion here? Alright, so this space here is a bastion. That means they're going to have, you know, siege weapons there. But, my favorite kinds of battle... sieges are fun, but they can be very stressful. I like a siege when the outcome doesn't matter anymore. I like a siege where I have a huge army and they have a huge army, but it doesn't matter how much I get beat up because it's like the last battle against them, or I have good replenishment. Sieges, because the towers are good and it gets frantic when you're inside, you know, you can, if you're me, make big mistakes. What we want to do here is get, like... everyone on this side, and we're just going to, like, rush this bastion here. Because this won't hit anybody here. Yeah, we'll, yeah, and we'll just... everybody will shoot at that bastion, and I bet he won't even notice my guys back there because of the strength of all this. And we'll put, like, one cavalry over here. It's about sending a message. And they totally bite. But here, we just need to pop this multi-bolt crossbow, and then these guys are going to have to cross in front of the treb, which isn't ideal at all, but the crossbow will get some work done, but it should crumble, like, immediately, right, to our counterfire. Once they run off, they don't come back, basically, on these bastions. They can't just, like, get another guy on it. Alright, let's, because the worry is that they'll shoot their artillery at your artillery, which has very, very low hit points. But there we go, and now our artillery is going to be able to start the picking apart process. The pick-a process. Because here, now we're going to be very comfy on the approach. We're just going to be able to pull it apart. We still have 6 shots here. And that tower does not shoot this quadrant. You can see where it shoots, and it just... No, it does shoot that quadrant. Haha! I wasn't far enough back to see that it was true. We have 5 shots left. Because these bastions can't really rotate in a meaningful way. The internal towers can be shot down by our archers quite comfortably. It's these exterior ones that you sometimes have to spend a little bit more time on, but now the multiple bolt crossbow is out of ammo, and this tower is as yet unburned. We're gonna deal with that with these guys. They have a pretty good firing rate even when they have fire arrows on. But you know, we're taking some free shots from like, I'm gonna need both of y'all to shoot at this arrow tower, please. Oh, let's slow it down. They are coming out of the gate at us. Let's get in here. Alright, these horseback huntsmen refuse to shoot at the tower. And frankly, all of that was a mistake. Got it. It's fine. I do still need to get this tower down, though, because it will actually cause us an outsized amount of problems, I'm sure. This fool... is having enough of a time now. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, and then we'll... Alright, they're sure enjoying their smoke screens there, but here we go. We get our, looks like Gong has been on horse without us even asking for it, and then we'll hit this Papa Don't Preach on him. Yes, I'm gonna say it every time I use the ability. I just heard that song as if for the first time the other week, and I'm like, oh, this is so catchy. Not the first time that I've heard a pop song and been like, wow, good stuff. It's, you know, a lot of people think because I like punk music and all that I don't also love pop music, but they are wrong. You know, containing multitudes and all that. Savant warriors, well, how about you savant on this? Yes, the glorious horsemen of the Yellow Turbans. Oh, look at that. What a move. Stab, 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 stab. Bet y'all feel smart now. You know, to their credit, they are fighting pretty hard. Like, no, you don't have to shoot at them anymore. They're out of the fight. Is anybody inside? No. There's once a campaign long ago, our first Make Them Unique. I think it was the first one. And there's a situation like this. Lu Bu and Lu Ji were outside. And our girl, Lu Ji, oh man, she ran in, she got into a fight, and then the gates closed, and she was the only one inside, and everybody was so worried about her. And when the gates finally opened, everybody except her was basically dead or running away. My girl. My girl. Beautiful. We take the wall. You know, for all the times that I'm like, how do we get in? We could just take the wall. We have very good units for it. These Zealots of the Way, you know, with their thing pumped all the way up, they still have some armor. Oh, because it's just negative 50% of the armor, right. So, yeah, they go up to quite solid numbers. It's not like 100% melee evasion, but 70%, you know, it's very, very good. And for greens, too, they have a very slight bonus versus cavalry. They're mainly regular damage. Lacking armor piercing isn't so bad if you do a lot of damage, as they do. Of course, they tank their they're fatigued by climbing up the wall, but that's the thing, is you're supposed to go up the wall and, you know, in the right time. And we did. We did. Then here we're going to be able to roll over them on this front. Cozy little victory here. And where we do not take medium casualties. I think it was high, right? Yeah, but we do not take the high casualties. We do get a level 7 city, which is great. You know, that's the wonderful thing. Because very few factions have access to destroying cities as a mechanic. Very few. So even if somebody takes something a couple of times, by the time you get it back, you know, when you loot and occupy, you can decrease it by 1 level. But usually you don't even want to do that because you mess everything up. And if you're going to stay at a city for any length of time, you know, you probably just want to keep things in state so that you don't have to spend the time and the money re-upgrading it. Exceptions are if you know that you want to downgrade it, but for us, because our stuff infrastructure-wise is so good, we basically only want more cities. It's not like some Han factions where you're like, man, my corruption's too high. We can manage corruption. We're the Yellow Turbans. Corruption has no hold on us, but yes, a beautiful siege. I do love a siege, as long as I have a siege weapon. But ideally, eventually, we'll get ourselves to afford a trebuchet and a multi-bolt crossbow, and then we'll drop one of the cav archers, probably. This army is like holding it together with nothing, but that's the point of Total War, right? You don't want to have an overwhelming force to do something because you're spending too much, if that's the case. Now, we don't make very much from post-battle loot there, but he gets destroyed. Alright, so yeah, first up, that's the most important thing. We already have the good garrison here. Now, it's like we need another admin. I don't think we can get one, though. Yeah. Because this is a much more desirable place to have an administrator than this. But this place is going to build plenty of things, and so that'll be good for them, too. Now, here in Beihai... what do we want to do? Could just go granary, right? Or no, just yeah, because this is yeah. We'll go pop growth here and then granary after. Well, no, granary before will actually make us more money, I think, because it's base peasantry income. Yeah, and we'll be going to. Oh no, yeah, this is fine. We can drop the blacksmith before too long. It's not really doing any work there. I just did it because it was cheap. We'll hold on to it until we have enough money to really do something else. Whoops. I'm like, we didn't move them. It's okay. Liu Bei will sign peace with us. He, however, is of the Imperial House, and the House of Han is the enemy of the Yellow Turbans. Glorious. Crucially, Huang Chao deals with his own problems there. Now, this little force, Onanyang. Yeah, that's Liu Chong's old lady. We need to sell this thing. It keeps on getting in the way of people's upgrades. That one. A couple more levels. Alright, so we can get... I think we just take the satisfaction and corruption reduction, right? Right. So the big faction-wide bonuses are desirable here at this point. So they're just churning through the levels now. Alright, then yeah, we'll just take it again here, because we've already got the research rate and construction time. Yep. Alright, yeah. And that'll make people happier, which will make me happier. And he deals with that pretty handily. Now, I think we send this army up to raid on this front. Well, the thing is now, yeah, all we need to do is have somebody, we have to have somebody defending this place. It's level 7, so it's already going to be very close to being exactly where it needs to be. And we just need to decide what we're doing with Gongdu right after this. Now, we could take this from Zerong. I don't think he has any lands besides this. However, this is not like... It's a fishing port. We'll get food from it. That's fine. Food's not bad. We don't need food right now, though. And the thing is... that this is a lot further away from all of the rest of our stuff than this is. And if we have to defend that, then, you know, it's clumsy. Defending this keeps the tight nature of the peninsula there, because from here we can march and get to Pengcheng in a turn, you know. Or crucially, we could be here and get to all of the places, but what we'll probably want to do... Yeah, we don't want to beat up on Daoying because he... Oh, he likes us now because we've been beaten down on his foes. Yeah, so we want to go and fight Cao Cao now with Gongdu, I think. In here, and we can like raid his lands and such to try to provoke rebellions and stuff. That'll be a good phase for this to happen in. If we're gonna do that, then we can move this army up here as well. And then here in a moment, we'll move this army down here and try to give them just enough to help this garrison stay up, if we can. But you know, things are fine. Things are working out. I'm actually super pumped about this because I mean, oh, we lost peasantry income from someone did a thing to us. I'm like, why did our money go down? All right, that's okay. I mean, it's not villains. Okay, so these ascetics are the way. Have huge evasion and big damage. Okay, yeah. Not a lot of armor, but you know, are they fast? No, they are moderately quick. But the militia virtue, you gotta be rank 6 for these? Jeez. Fair enough. Yeah, you know, this is as good as the red calf gets, so you gotta make yourself enjoy it. Alright. Positive income. Everything is awesome. Everything is good. We're not building anything here. That is unfortunate, but I think it's because we're building important things everywhere else. Yes, it is. Alright, well. And if Cao Cao is trying to move towards the temple from this direction, oh, he's going to have a bad time. Alright, and our food thing will go over next turn, but we can keep on feeding him, you know, for the rest of the game. Because he currently likes us, so we don't want to raid him. I mean, that's not like, I don't care, you know. But we're gonna go and raid here. He's a little bit happy, but I bet we can make him unhappy soon. This is his capital, so we'll have to deal with it, but, you know, so what? We get the entrenched garrison. This is very important. This is the one that's going to give us the better tower projectiles when we're defending. But if we don't build it, then we can build more buildings in other places. Yes. Yeah, because Saizan here with Liu Dan and Tachinga, like, they're so far from doing anything productive. But I think what we're gonna do is we'll move up this way and just try to mousetrap them, right? Just ambush there. You know, we don't need to keep paying these warriors. She can hang out here for a second until we figure out what we're doing there. This is just such a good setup. 5 millions of people living within our wise walls. Of course, we picked up a couple of million here, but, you know, and 500k there. But 5 millions in our happy walls. Plenty of food still. Satisfaction high, but not guaranteed. Need to recruit some more people soon. Need to get all sorts of stuff. But things are well. Things are going well. Enlightenment churning along. And he's trying to get peace with us, but you know, we'll have peace when you agree that you've made a terrible mistake. Now, Liu Bei and his brothers, having, you know, been involved with the defeat of the Yellow Turbans some, 16 years before at the point of the game we are now, but, you know, in like 184-ish, you know, so the Yellow Turbans would be holding a grudge against them and certainly wouldn't want to be having peace with them. Cunning scheme. And now they're all warring against Liu Chong's old forces. Shameful behavior. Alright, I'm actually just going to try to trade that armor off now. It's worth 450 to me for it to stop being auto-populated onto our forces. Because even if it works for them, it's messing up their portraits, and for all I know, it's going to make them invisible. And we're going to start liberating this place, right? We're going to start liberating it. I think, yeah, it's time to drop that one. We can... I mean, might as well. I mean, it's not good, but might as well, right? I mean, we're already there. Well, by that rationale, no, we can get more peasantry income and stuff from one of these other sources, mayhaps. Because the food isn't the operative thing. Alright, we've got more assignments now. Alright, so what we need to do is get reserves here. The most important thing, increased provisions. And then we're going to development plan here. And promote wisdom.
保持原样。正在行军。坚持不懈，冲啊！根壮而后，枝叶繁茂。振作起来！折而不摧，回归原状，追寻荣耀。
Alright, we'll have that. Hopefully, if Hong Chao is over here, he'll be able to stop Liu Bei from taking his lands there again, but we're just going to antagonize our neighbors here a little bit, because I can't help myself, because I cannot and do not want to help myself. Can we recruit anybody else? Yes. I don't want to recruit. Well, let's get you, buddy. What are you going to be like? A rebel officer, level 3. Ooh, gives us a mathematician. And now we will get... yes, a construction time boost, and then... this way, and of course, we'll go ahead and supervise. Well, I know supervising here would be better, right? Right. And in one turn, we'll get 15% off retinue upkeep, which is going to be worth a pretty penny to us. You know, we already have a few discounts rolling in some places, so it'll be, you know, it's all the better to have a standing peasant army when you get a bunch of discounts on them. But we should be seeing, you know, 800 more gold in the coffers. And Cao Cao is running for the hills, running for his life. Get wrecked, buddy. Conservative compensation. To govern the people is the affair of heaven, and there's nothing like thrift. Now consider that thrift is said to come from early practice. Boom. And now, oh wow, we have a ton of money now overnight. I think, so the negative, somebody gave us negative peasantry income, so that hurt a lot. And then, of course, we also just saved a ton of money on car insurance from switching to Huangmo's Paragons. And now the peasants are at 58 when they're in our zone here. And 3,500 a turn positive is amazing. We just need to be able to, you know, make good on this for a little while longer. Promote wisdom with him. Getting the higher level city is most important, I think, there. Zhongfei is threatening to come across. I'm totally not worried about his army coming here. This, we would beat the brakes out. I think the auto would even give it to us, right? Without any special effort. What we're going to do now is hit this city. I'm, like, not afraid of them. We're going to bring the other army up, but, like, I'm not afraid of Cao Cao's crackback is what I mean to say. Because we'll have We'll have all of these
正
forces
在
here.
行进。为了天下苍生，大义将临。
Because now that the peninsula is locked, all we have to do is defend the borders of it, and we can, expand them. Because this, it takes a little bit of doing to get everything, but now, there's the choke point right here, which any incursion here is dealt with from an army here. Oh, they're not an enemy commandery, so we don't actually... we have to be at war with them for the raiding to work. Well, he's just mad about the trespassing, so that's fine. I didn't even realize that. They have to be an enemy for the raiding to work for the public order, but that's fine.
以柔克刚。定国安民。
Because from here, Cao Cao is going to have to make some choices, right?
前进。
He's going to be going through some stuff.
廉洁奉公，忍受苦难。
And if he tries to come in through this way, well,
志略所指，我之所在。
we'll be ready for him. Or not, maybe we won't be. It's hard to say. Yeah, and we'll just commerce it up here. We could also, let's just go get some new recruits, right? It'll, because doing that assignment does save us 1,000, whenever it finishes. So it's like worth 200 a turn. So plus, it gives us a guy. All right, so wonderful stuff. We, now that we're out of there, we lose a little bit of our discount, but still plenty of a discount, right? And the new research. Pretty quick here. Do we just go with the rank 2 for peasant recruits? I mean, that might actually be worth quite a lot, right? No, let's go for the archer boost, right? Range and the range damage, I like that now. We could go with the construction cost of the main buildings, though, since we actually have a few of the main building ones that we're going to have soon. It's hard to say. There's lots of good choices. We could just do this one and try to, get some trade agreements with people, but, we already have our trade with our brothers next to us. Our brothers in arms. Yeah, let's take the archers discipline. Let's boost the archers. That 5% range could be pretty nice. I mean, it's not going to be huge, but it'll be a little bit. And importantly, it'll let the multi-bolt crossbows outrange bastion artillery by a slight margin. Speaking of slight margins, everything is good. Yeah, everything is awesome. We're rocking out. Now, there's the possibility of looters coming in over here, right? But we'll see. Here in a turn or two, we need to get, an army of peasants to defend, because I think looters spawn, right here, and that'll mean that we will need to do that. Matung has... Offered us peace on behalf of the Han Empire. He must have taken the Emperor.
贪得无厌，真是可恶。
Or, like, vassalize the guy who has them. I wonder if you can even do that. Maybe. Looks like Zhongfei is on the river there. That's okay because, you know, the river is an awkward place for him. There's no good place for him to set down and get into our cookie jar. And I honestly don't think this army wins the auto against our friends if they are there, you know. And now that they've got themselves a little set up, it's pretty nice. Yeah, the Emperor grew to hate this guy probably because of his failures. No, Ma Teng took Chang'an, yeah. We're gonna say that humility is important. Humility gets us purple guys, which... Ooh, surplus markets. Awesome. You know, you like these guys because they have access to the experience assignment. And apparently to the pretty good, very cheap Paragon dudes. 63 morale, it's a lot of morales.
根壮而后，枝叶繁茂。立马行动。胸怀中正。
So what we want to do here is hope to get them to come out a little bit, right?
莫要急躁。 发动农民，为了天下苍生。
Yeah, so we'll go here and go to ambush, and he'll go here and start burning it down. That will provoke them. And if they come to try to hit us, well, then we will smash them with a hammer! Or save on postage.
千层波浪，充实巨岩。
Top level garrison, very important. We were skipping it a couple of times, but you know, we need to get it there, and this place will be done in a bit. Good, good, good. Because the lands we have now, I could play the rest of the game and feel pleased enough. Hey, speaking of pleased enough, get wrecked. They walk right into our ambush. Starts with the hammer. Well, you know, I say it all the time. It's one of the funniest things ever that others like to use. There's plenty of stuff, you know, from the various... Liu Dan, you are part of the house. And this must be destroyed. We're not so different. Yeah, I do love that one. No, you know, my normal style is peppered with so many quotes from so many things. There's lots of Lord of the Rings ones I use in battles. Do you remember when I told you, Mr. Powers, we're not so different, you and I? Yeah, it's the Lorne Michaels, right? I have a friend at work, and we're always pitching, like, sketch ideas and, like, hilarious things, and, you know, we're like, get Lorne on the phone right now. Get Lorne on here, you know. This is $1 million idea. Here's one of them. Plagues of Moses insurance claims, right? You're in office, it's like, oh, so you're saying that there's frogs coming from the sky, you know? And you just go on with that, you know. That's pretty sure we're going to have to file this one as an act of God. You say the hail's on fire? You know, and, you know, I just thought it was a humorous sort of thing. It's like... But yeah, we had a fun time with that concept. Dongmin overcomes that guy and now, gets there. And all right, so Confucius says it doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you do not stop. You'll say that the quiet is a better one to be. No, we'll make a relationship with this Yudun guy. They're more important. Confucius isn't really that important to our faction. We're Taoists, right? Exactly. See, it's just funny. It's just a funny idea from the face of it. It makes me feel like sometimes I have a sketch idea and I'm like, get Lauren on the phone right now, and he'll be like, well, actually, they did that on the television in 1981. Alright, so they totally get crunched here. And we're going to be able to sever Cao Cao from his happy place here by taking Xuchong. And crucially, they are very awkward here. No, we're gonna, because they are both super beat up and in March here. That ambush beat the brakes off of them. Here we're gonna be able to take a clean delegate. Destroyed, yes. Haven't watched Game Changer. I have seen a couple of clips a couple of times, and I laughed very hard, but I never got into it. There was one that was like the defense attorney thing, and I did it, and I saw that because it was like an Avatar meme, and they put Kiyoshi's face on the defendant, and I laughed so hard. Hey, we get awesome. All right, so here by getting this, we get the 5 commandery quest done, which gives us thousands of dollars of dollary dues. All right, now we just need to keep on with this. So this is an excellent place because, of course, from here, now Cao Cao is in the same position as before, only with less. Get wrecked, buddy. Hate that for you, honestly. But we ought to take the Hulao Pass. This is like, oh. Alright, so yeah, we'll and then the next one we just need 8 commanderies, but we are doing amazing right now. This is so good because the hardest part was the beginning, right? And now we get to coast on the fruits of our labors, such as they are. Now, like, that's a lot of money for not a ton of benefit. We have a lot of cash for infrastructure. If we just push to level 8 here right now, then we get a building slot. Do we go to like level 9 here? I do like that. It spends a bunch of food, but we're going to want this place at level 10 anyway. Yeah, let's just pump all the money into there. And get the granary for more cash. Yep, and now we have spent all the money. Wonderful. Great, and in all other ways, very good. And then we will go ahead and... Oh yeah, we spent too much of the money, though. We do need to get a recruitment building here. Or rather, a garrison building here. The base level garrison gives you 7 dudes in the garrison, which is amazing. Alright, and in view of that not working out, then we'll upgrade this to the top level. Yeah, sure, why not? Wonderful stuff. Levels to distribute, and then we'll get... this way, and that'll get her towards the great benefit of... Yeah, because getting the construction time for the local place is great, and getting research faction-wide is super great as well. Not everybody gets that in their tree. sometimes people already have it, like right there, and I don't know it. But when they're on assignment in a place, that counts them as in the local place. So this guy's on assignment doing this, but now because of his construction thing, you know, everybody pitches in, you know, from each according to their ability and all that. The gentle worker at Quarks will no longer suffer. They have nothing to lose but their chains. And anyway, the system of profiteering by the Ferengi is not sustainable, and Rom understands that, and we understand it too. Stand-up comedy might be your favorite form. Never been on stand-up or anything. There's plenty of stand-up that I've liked a ton, but honestly, it's like, I don't think I like stand-up the way that people that love stand-up do, you know, because I tend to enjoy it just like a few handfuls of sketches, and then I'll watch them like I would rewatch a favorite episode of a TV show, right? Like John Mulaney's early stuff. It's just so funny to me, and like I love the, or like Mitch Hedberg's specials, but like I've never gone to like a live comedy show as such at like a bar or anything, right? Like a stand-up show. I've went to stand-up special shows a few times, like at Fayetteville. Like I saw Zach Galifianakis before he was properly famous, right before the Hangover. It's been in like 05 or 06. 05 sounds right. But one of my friends was the chair of the comedy club there, so he was like in the zeitgeist of comedy. And he was like, this guy's amazing. So, yeah, and I saw a couple other, but that was like, you know, they were like on an auditorium stage to a college crowd, so it didn't even feel like being at a stand-up show, I guess. I don't know. It was more like watching a comedy performance, which I guess a stand-up show, I don't know. Stand-up feels too personal. You know, whenever I think of stand-up, I think of, like, the guy or lady person against the brick wall who's not being funny. But I guess, you know, you gotta be not funny to get funny. Every now and then, I'll be at work and, like, I'll be doing a bit or something, and someone will be like, you should do stand-up. And what I think they mean is, you've been talking for a really long time, and nobody else has said anything, but they are laughing. That's what I think they mean. Gong gets level 8. Gets level 8? Wow! My man just moving it along. We were going to get this construction time way earlier. He actually gets it from being in charge of the faction, I think, though. Do we just... Yeah, we'll take the armor cut and then the evasion, and then that also helps with construction passively. Yeah, seems fine. And with there, you know, we have enough one-turn building to get that one up to level 5, which is very important. Cao Cao is... Yeah, so here, we're going to try to... I'm like, oh, actually, we might be able to pick them apart here very badly. How much is our movement? Oh, yeah, we're gonna demolish them here. This army has night battles. So we're just going to defeat them. Choked out. Zuchu falls down. I'm like, don't... No. No, don't do this to me. No, I can't. No, I can't. I just... Why couldn't you have just gotten away? No. No, 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 no. I... Why? Just join me. Just join me, man.
“放他们回家去吧。”
You know, I wrote a poem called Suchu. Oh, Ben, I don't know, 14 years ago, maybe? That's before I played this game, of course. Before this game came out. Love this guy. If I just kill him, we can pretend like I didn't. I can't. I just can't. I can't do it.
勇夺荣耀，秋日一至，必树流金。为了天下苍生，正在行进。 定国安民。
We'll go here and go to no, not to march. To ambush.
敌军必中圈套。坚持不懈。
Now, if I was like being a gamer, I would have killed him. I just can't do it. I just couldn't do it. Don't ask me to stop being a man. Oh, and when the embers drops, we get more corruption, so there's that too. But here, they walk right into it. All right. Time for the war against Cao Cao. Him will happily execute. Not because I hate Cao Cao. He's the boogeyman, right? Cao Cao is the boogeyman. It's not... You're not wrong to kill the boogeyman. An absolute zound of problematic cavalry, but... we've got a good amount of infantry that'll be okay against it once they get engaged. Obviously, the auto would give it to us, and we'd be on our land, and it'd be great. But you don't want to not do a fight against a major foe. After all, this might be the last little hurrah that he gets. Speaking of, though, I'm just noticing that it has been 2 hours and 45 minutes since I began this stream. So, a bit of an anticlimax, but I'm just going to take a very short break and stretch my legs, walk around a little bit, because, you know, you wouldn't want me to get locked into a chair. Not until I get my robot legs. I want 8 of them. I will climb the walls. I digress. I'll be right back. Alright. Once more into the breach. Now, I've decided what we'll do if we capture Zhu Chu again. We'll pretend to execute him. He can study Taoism for a bit, and we'll rename a guy Zhu Chu and give him the hammer. And then we won't really be executing him. You know, there you go. I figured out a way to do it. Now, we just want to be where the people are, right? We want to be all the stinking way back here. Because then we can have, like, a huge... Yeah, we'll do, like, a ton of guys in the trees here, and then if they try to get through here, then, you know, we'll have this force, yeah. We'll have these fellows to harass forward and, you know, do their thing, and we'll take some shots with them. And nobody is gonna be doing proposed duels. Because the thing is, if their cav tries to, like, overflank very hard, we'll be fine. And, crucially, once they break off, we'll be close to the wall. We just have to not break off first, right? But we have very good morale now. So... what we need to do is... oh, they're going to go and, like, regroup or whatever. We're just going to pull all the way back. We can force a fight later. We're just going to get back over here and get all situated. Alright, so we've got an immobilize. And this center fire, that's just for him. But, and then she has the big morale kicker. And then we'll have, like, all the archers here with this flank protected, you know, the best way we know how. And they're gonna... yeah, they're already moving forward a bit. That was always gonna happen. They have cataphracts, I think, which we might be able to get some work on. The important thing is just pulling them into this kill box here, right where we want them. And all of these guys have a lot of missile block. Not Xiaohu doing, which is good. He's got a bow, though. We don't really want to trade with him, I don't think. Cataphracts, there we go. But, you know, if we get a few shots on him, that'll be great. We just don't want to sit up and have an archery duel with him. Although we do have great armor and missile block, you know, maybe we do want to get up and have an archery duel with him, actually. Now, we don't actually want to make anything more than contact here. But we get in a couple of hits, and now... I think we made a mistake. Yeah, they are Oh, yeah, they're super quick, aren't they? Oh, goodness, I forgot. Well, we'll be okay. And in fact, if we string these red cav out pretty far here, we'll be better than okay. We'll be fine. Fine is better than okay. Thing is we have a ton of dudes here, so we just need to keep on moving, right? Yep, that's all we need to do. And we don't have, like, a healer here, but if they stay stuck on me long enough to get all the way up here, then, well, all we have to do is draw them into the archer fire, or the, multiple crossbow fire, as the case may be. But getting them split off plenty is good, alright. And we want to come up here, because if we can immobilize them when they're in the space, no, we're not able to do that. However, you know, we do get the forest burning down a little bit. And we avoid getting too hurt. But, you know, now that we know they're trying to run, it's like... Because as they're trying to get through the forest here, now we know that they're going to run in here and have a very rude awakening. The Zealots of the Way are going to beat up on their cav, I think. I think that's what's going to happen. Oh, we have a big heal here. Let's go ahead and get ready for it. Alright, there, and they flee away. But yeah, now we're just gonna dismount and get to killing. And this blob fight is going to determine everything that happens from here on out, but I think we'll be okay because we have deep set infantry here on the flank, which is going to be enough. Okay, yeah, we already... We get Zhao Ho doing down, and they flip out. We're gonna keep on the beat down then, right? They clearly can do nothing against us. There we go. And now, locking them all down, they're going to be immobilized. We're going to be able to get everybody on Cao Cao. And just like that, it'll be a murdering going on. And this whole side can move in. I was pretty sure these guys in the trees were going to win handily, and they did. We'll send these guys at the crossbows, these guys here. And we're just going to keep them charging at those fools. Now they've got these guys in the back, which could be bad. Oh, this strategist is here. That is bad. Well, Cao Cao is down, though. These Tiger and Leopard Cavalry are having a bit of a time, but we're going to be able to dispatch them before too long here. Yes, clean and graceful. Xiahou Yun here is having a good time running around and messing with our infantry, but all we have to do is get on him again with all of our dudes. No, we'll, yep, there we go. We got the beatdown down. We showed Wei who was boss. It was the Yellow Turbans. And of course, crucially, we're in our own land, so we get every single benefit you could hope for from this victory. We're going to get the replenishment. We get the money. They're on the back foot. We're going to be able to go in and hit their capital, what's left of it. Okay. All right, now our cavalry, of course, run away again, but, you know, maybe our crummy red cavalry aren't good enough. Maybe my usage of them isn't good enough. It's hard to say. One thing's for sure. Our infantry are doing the job we need them to do, right? Which is standing up and fighting. And our archers are technically here too. Nah, it's not fair. I'm sure they were doing really good work, some of them. The multiple crossbow gets 150 kills. Beautiful stuff. And of course, that is all over. Remember, they took this fight. They thought they were going to win. They were never going to win. Did they? No, I took this fight. I said all of that wrong. I'm like, no, we took this, right? Yeah, they didn't want this fight. I lied. This is on their land. Well, we still absolutely put the beating on them. And that means it's time to fast forward a little bit as we chase some of Cao Cao's forces down, and she can come over here and give us another heal, right? Yep, so, you know, classic stuff. You fight sort of close to a border, you get the job done, and then in 40 short seconds, we'll get another heal here. We might end up, you know, basically where we started out. You gotta love a heal. I have to love a heal. I love healing. So if you beat up on the units very, very badly, then they get disabled from the next fight. Which is what we're going for here. We're going for a dissolution of Cao Cao's forces. Hopefully we will capture him, give him the chop, take his very nice swords, and, you know, show him who's boss, which is me. We are the boss now. But since the Turbans have, like, pretty bad cavalry and pretty great infantry, they are my ideal faction. Because I like cavalry conceptually, but I'm so bad that they always die. Unless they're very, very strong. Having a little bit is fine, though. Yu Zhen, having borne you no special fondness, you lose. Oh, wait, no. No, that's right. It was, we didn't take the fight. They did come against us. I did remember it right the first time and wrong the second time. Dongnin wants to pay us for peace. No, this dude is the tyrant's brother, and I am not convinced that he's a good guy. In this timeline, he spent quite a bit of time there with the weird rebels. But Cao Cao is in March in our lands, which means he can't get away. You know, our movement works perfectly there. We get tons of post-battle loot. Dao Ying declares war on Cao Cao. And Archer's Discipline comes to us. All right, so we can get 15 more Alpha-Roan army for a year. Yeah. And Zhang Kai gets to level 6, which is going to let him get... recovery? Yeah. Boom. A little passive heal. What's not to like? Yeah, and this overseer dude. Oh, this one gives increased provisions. Well, we already have somebody with that, right? Do we need 2 of them? I don't think so, but it wouldn't hurt either. Now our food balance is high. All right, so you get what, like 10% of your food bonus to reserves, which is fine. You know, with a tech, even finer. Do we want to go to 6 here? I mean, in a turn, getting to 7 is very important, and if we can just do that, I think we just hold on to our money, unless there's a very advantageous thing to do somewhere else. Yeah, because this stuff's development can be superseded by this a little bit now, because we have this one, which that'll be level 8 soon, giving us another slot. Excellent. Yeah, we'll just save the money. Or rather, we'll probably have more here. We can think after we beat Cao Cao. Come on, buddy. Want some? Get some. And the money is the most important thing to us, because, you know, we need the money. And if we can't capture Cao Cao, you know, letting his men go is fine. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, do we want this? I think leaning into the big city is the best move here, right? Yeah, we'll just look at this because we're going to get a multiplier soon enough there. And, yeah, that's just what we'll do. Or rather, no, we'll save it because next turn we'll want the money to go to level 7 here, because that will get us into a very good spot indeed. We'll probably drop the admin of this place before too long, just to get the other thing. But maybe we'll, well, you know, maybe we'll be sort of close-ish to a new tech level. Well, let's see. We could just get all the corruption taken care of. I don't think that matters right now, right? I think we can get something that matters more, right? Like money. Like money. Because we need assignment. Alright, if we get this, then... Alright, what's our building upkeep even look like? I mean, not much. Saves us a little bit of money. It also gives us another construction time off, which just gets us... You know, we already have a pretty good time down on everything, but that'll really get us going. That'll get us incredibly strong there. But I think most of the time we're at single or just 2 turns anyway. Let's boost the troops' power, right? Yeah, let's go for faction-wide power. Melee damage and armor-piercing damage and stuff. We boost the archers last time. Now we can boost everybody else. Oh, it doesn't boost the range of the the multiple bolt crossbows. It does boost their power, but not their range. That's fun. Anyway, well, now the horseback huntsman will slightly outrange tower, so that's good. I Alright, so they're on the back foot here. I think the move is to just take Chen and... I mean, hopefully we'll just... Yeah, because if we can just eliminate Cao Cao, like, the now, then that's all we need to do.
拿起武器，杀呀！为天下苍生，杀呀！
And now we won't have a crushing defeat. We will have a crushing victory. Yeah, with low casualties. Beautiful stuff.
下之于地，上参于天。 吾等大印必将降临此城。
Making plenty there, and crucially, the garrison is already totally respectable.
根壮而后，枝叶繁茂。
This building is fine. We'll take the building slot here. Pretty important. We should still have enough to upgrade the next one next turn.
向前进军。
Because Cao Cao can't have much, right? Because we defeated a few of his armies. He has this land right here, but I don't think he's going to be back here next turn. And accordingly, we don't need to worry about it. Now, Ying did just move against him here, so best case scenario, they roll up this land here and push him back, and then we can roll back up this way with these forces, which is probably what we'll do. Do we want to drop one of these huntsmen? I mean, the two of them have been doing fine. And like, oh yes, we can actually recruit all of the guys now. Because really, it just might be like a lot of zealots of the way, right? You know, I love these dudes. They win basically all the fights they're in at this point, although that won't be true forever. Is it time to swap to get a trebuchet? I'm gonna say yes.
大人，有话直说。
So the Zealots of the Way are more expensive than the Reclaimers to recruit, but cheaper upkeep. Probably due to faction benefits or something. We'll just wait for the faction support to roll over before we spend the money, right? Money is not super tight, but it is still important. But from here, like, having the Peninsula is amazing strategically, right? And Liu Bei has made a big mistake and moved in here, and now he's going to get rolled up by our buddy on this side. Because, alright, now Yuan Shao has elected to get to the river, but, you know, this is pretty late from the Duchy of Song here. I don't know if we elect to move against them or if we just keep them on their side. It would be pretty funny to have another... the Kingdom of Song's up there, and the Yellow Turbans are just like, oh, whatever, you know, we're just going to do our thing. Only instead of the Yellow Turbans, it was the Han last time. But yeah, we're doing great. Doing so good. That guy's already level 4. Is he from somewhere else? Or nope, just in the pool. Good deal. Has strength of the land, disorientate, and commanding shout. Because when we get to here, that's going to be excellent. You know, the assignments are going to be good. It's all, you know, lower corruption. It's all very desirable. We don't have big corruption problems now. I wouldn't even call them small corruptions. 10% is very manageable. But before long, we're going to have to start thinking about the future. The year 2000. But this war with Cao Cao couldn't have gone better. When you walked into that ambush up top, you know, that's all that was really there. And yeah, we acknowledge, Liu Bei, that you want peace. But the thing is that you got to get everybody on board. And I bet Huang Chao wants to keep busting you up, buddy. I was laying in bed this morning when I woke up, and I just started laughing because I was like, I don't have to go to work for so long. Oh, it's great. You know, there's a Flight of the Conchords song where he says, when you're unemployed, there's no vacation. But when you are employed and you don't have to go to work, you're like, ah. Truly, my 3% of the year is totally worth it. We get negative population growth, a ton of it here. You know, that stinks, but we're actually... We have pretty decent infrastructure, population growth, so it's not going to tank us terribly. And this is a place you just need to keep your population okay for the benefits. Probably a lot of people don't care about it. Once I discovered how good all this stuff is, you know, you can build more buildings. You get your bonus income. You know, sure, there's a little public order problem, but you can counteract that. Anybody can counteract that. Anyway. Yeah, my vacation has started. So, like, how I started. So, my normal days off are Wednesday and Thursday, right? And it is Wednesday today. Yes. So, my vacation properly starts on Friday, and then I don't go to work again until the Friday after next. So, yeah, so these 2 days and then 5 days of vacation, and then my 2 normal off days. But it is 9 days of happy times, of air conditioning and joy. Oh, look at this guy. He's trying to come back to Suchong. Well, does he know that I will be right back there? Yeah, because now Cao Cao has fallen victim to one of the classic blunders. Now, we can just slow up a little bit here, and actually what we can do is make this a real army. You know, we might just. What does it take to make this a real army, you might ask? Well, first of all, we will get a multiple bolt crossbow. Now it's basically a real army. We will need a little bit of cav. Are the red cav desirable compared to the survivability of the yellow, though? You know, we don't really need the damage from cav. We just need, like, a sticky dude that ain't gonna run. No, the peasant spears are fine. We don't need more purple here. Yeah, we'll just get a couple of horsemen here, really to bog down people, and you know, to stick people in a spot so that we can bonk them over the head with great vengeance and furious anger. Now, what we might do is, like, is anybody home? No, nobody's home. Yeah, we're just gonna go for it then. Oh, yeah, we're just gonna go for it. Alright. This army, no, we need to, this was unwise. We can break off and still get home, I think. Yeah. Yeah, because it pushes us off. Yeah, we're fine. It's fine. Anyway, you know, because this army was pretty beat up, and it's not that we couldn't have taken it. It's that afterward, I really worry about dealing with this stack. You know, well, it'll be fine. This army can't hit us without going into March, so if this one comes in and hits us, and then they go to March, we'll be able to retreat. Or actually, no, that said... Yeah, if they hit us, then our reinforcement range kicks here, and that will be plenty of help. All right, yeah, good stuff. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. You'll see. You'll all see. Whoever made an air conditioning is truly saved so many lives. Oh, I know, I know.
土地无人，好比人之无魂。
It is beyond a good innovation.
平定天下。
Now, crucially, Huang Shao has showed his ability to defend this river against the Liu Bei, and as long as the Liu Bei has this lands, he'll probably just keep on losing fights to us repeatedly. And it'll keep you and Shao from being like right on us. But here we're in such a good spot because here once we deal with this and Cao Cao's forces here, which are not in good shape, we're going to be able to take the very desirable gate passes here, and then then it's all gravy, right? This is an amazing place once you have all of it. There's only a couple of cities like you can defend from Chen and Donglai here. You can defend basically the whole frontier. It's so good. Willis carrier. Bearing the same series release. Oh, cool. It's interesting when you go back to the newspapers of the time and you read the way they wrote about her and you're like, yikes. Or you read somebody that I like and he's like, yeah, Hunter S. Thompson said she was crazy, but he meant it in a nice way. Fear and Loathing 1972 probably forever be one of my favorite books. I got it as a birthday present from the same guy we were talking about earlier. I didn't say his name because it's important not to be too specific about your friends on the internet, right? They didn't ask you to talk about them. But, he wouldn't mind me saying that some years ago he gave me a birthday present and that he has a name that I won't share with you, I'm sure. Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta remember, it was back in the day, and she was I would describe her as a firebrand, because that is how I talk about people that I like. When they go a little far in some people's estimations, but whatever Barry Goldwater said, but the opposite of that. All right, promoting wisdom. Let us just... Do we want to promote wisdom here? Yeah, we want to promote wisdom here. Very soon we will get... Well, in a couple of years we'll get the new rank. And that'll put us at the level of Duchy, right? Because Enlightened is the big one. Okay, but at the next rank, we can unlock the big stuff, so that's very cool. Okay. It'll be a court position that we can give to people, and that'll also give them the faction-wide, so most factions now, you get your heir, and then you have, like, a prime minister thing, but we'll have, like, 3 prime minister equivalents. Of course, we lose some of the other stuff that other people get access to, but anyway, let's keep it moving, shall we? This army's a little expensive to be holding the land here, but it's not bad to be keeping, being honest. We're not worried about his strength at all. He's next on the dinner plate, but Cao Cao is a much more important meal to devour. Oh, yes, much more important indeed. Do we want to swap one of these to a yellow? No, we can't afford it anyway. Ah, yes, so we need to get our buddy some food.
Chen Xi Xun ye.
like, doesn't want to give me much money for it. I mean, how about a little bit of money for it, bud? Yeah, there you go.
足下可谓心怀大志。
I mean, just a little bit of money. Come on. You know, to make it look good for the people. The people are watching. As well, we're building so much stuff which is principally defensive, but here in just a year or 10, we're going to be able to build all the offensive stuff. No, the economy stuff. There's two schools of thought, right? There's you build the economy stuff and then you can afford more armies and fight. That's the correct school, but I don't play that way. I like to play where you get solid lands to live in and then you defend them, and then once you know you can defend them, you build up your abilities to buy more stuff. Of course, like, are we going to need a garrison over here now? Well, maybe not, but if we ever do, you're going to want it. Su Shu gets a negative 50 satisfaction. Hopefully we'll be able to deal with that. He's a negative 24. Well, you know, it's not like there's really a job we can give him. He's still only at negative 24 because he was pretty happy. So I guess we'll just, yeah, we'll just, he'll be fine. We'll just try to take care that he, no, we can give him this thing and get him back up into the yellows, you know. He'll lose his water clock, but get a little happier. Like here, like, do we just go for money? Just go for money? Do we also go for money? Alright, so this place has 0 military supplies at the moment, making it a prime contender for getting some military supplies. Promote wisdom there. Wisdom's already being promoted here. Promote wisdom is boosting our experience faction-wide, and it also gives bonus experience to the defenders. Now, when they swap defender stacks from, like, your quality, they do lose their levels, so, you know, it's not too important to lean into that until it's ready. Do we want to go to the culture here? I don't think it matters too much for the money. It's only 5% for the research rate. Yeah, I don't think it's very effective there. Whereas here, I mean, 35 income from peasantry. It will probably get a nice multiplier in there. No, we can make more of a difference over here, certainly. It's like, Yellow Turban building? No, we'll just do the right thing and build some granaries. Alright, they ran back there, which is fine. We want to move to ambush right here. We just want them to move forward carelessly. That is the hope. Now, we know they were over here somewhere. We are a bit beat up, so same plan. We're just going to go and try to get an ambush. Now, she's not garrisoning here anymore, so maybe she'll take pay. And if she does, then we're going to be able to roll both of these armies up, you know, before too long and get some work in.
大人，有何吩咐？
Like a multiple crossbow. The multiple crossbow costs as much as, 4 peasants, but we'll just do it in the event that we're about to siege. Things are going so well. Alright, let's keep on making sure that's true. Need to get the most bang for our buck buildings since we're not so wealthy that we can ignore that. Alright. Food is still super solid everywhere. Could just go schools for the pop. No. Do labor housing. Yeah. Because we've already got the income building for industry, so yeah, why not? If it's going to be by itself, we'll see. Because it's got peasantry on there as well. And with our huge food amounts, that we're getting, we're going to be able to upgrade basically all of our cities quite far. We get to level 9 here. We need to get to level 10 when we can. And then we'll boost the peasantry income here, and that's going to be pretty gigantic. It's like we want to be on the road, actually. Yep, perfect. With the speed of our tech, right, at almost triple, it's so good, and we're not playing passively. It's so good. It's so good. I'm like, we're just sitting still. I'm like, no, we just took like 2 cities in 3 seasons. That's hardly sitting still at all. And popped his armies very badly. Now, he might be getting back at Luoyang, he might be getting back at one of these gate passes, but what he's not doing is making a big difference in the world today. And with the loss of all of that stuff, he might be food limited. It's possible. Unlikely, though. No, his cities are quite low in level. Yeah. Lady Wu declares war on some of us up here in the front. A solar eclipse. There's a bad omen between Gongsun Ping and Fengjue. And it makes everybody quite upset and, very put out. Far indeed is this from the way. We want to hit 7. I mean, yeah, we should probably just wait. Hitting 10 here is more important, right? Yeah, because if we hit 10, then we can just, macro up a bunch of funny stuff. No, we don't have an industrial. Well, let's get the building one down here, because the level 10 thing is still going to take a while to build, and then next turn, hopefully, we will have enough to do it with those on. I mean, this army... Yeah, so they're defending here, but that means they're defending, they're locked in here with me. Oh, and they have no reserves, so we're gonna be obliterating their forces here. We're just gonna be getting a little raid on. Get your raid on. Get your raid on. Now, I kind of wanted to get the pass, but hitting him here is quite desirable as well because holding up at Nanyang, that's like, you know, pretty good. But also because if we don't take this place, then he'll be right back here anyway.
奋力一战，为了天下苍生。
It says we're going to lose. We're obviously not going to lose. We might get some nice gold weapons out of it, though. Because they, you know, they've got... Oh, it's a field battle? Well, you know, that's actually better for them than it would be otherwise, right? Now... Yeah, the first army's at half strength, and this one... Yeah, I think Cao Cao's just, like, out of food. Maybe he did get out of food from us taking those places, and now he's just, like, out of reserves. Or maybe he's just out of money and bankrupt, going, well, you know, let's get to it. I'm sure our army can cobble together a victory here. After all, we've got good fighters. They don't have that much healthy cav. They do outnumber us, but they probably, yeah, they only have, like, 800 more than we do in the grand scheme of things. It'd be easier if they had towers, because we would just shoot them, but... It says, here we begin, let us fight to the end. But, of course, taking fights whenever we can get them is desirable, because we get a lot of post-battle loot in our faction, a whole lot of it. And in general, you know, it's war. Who dares wins? Now, this will be, yeah, so... The lake is like impassable water, it looks like, so we'll just go like so. Or rather, right here is even better. Yeah, right here is even better. But I'm sure we're going to be able to make some solid work of them. We need the cav in reserve, because the cavs, the entire job of the cavalry, the only job of the cavalry, is to engage their cavalry when it arrives and hopefully not get obliterated. If they try to deep flank over on this side, then we will we'll deal. And these guys are the heavy halberds. We'll keep them in reserve here, since they don't have the shields or anything. So we just want to keep it just like this. But we're getting some nice shots here. And of course, yeah, with Night Battle, look at that. Look at how bad their morale is. Brutal stuff, of course, you know, that's the flaming shot plus artillery, or like, let's go here, yeah, alright, they, that just makes whoever's in that thing unbreakable, which won't be the cav. And if they're trying this deep flank, then we've got an amazing position, because they try to swing up this way. Yeah, they're trying the very, very deep flank around the lake, which is wild. Yep, and now they're trying to reposition. They're like, oh, this isn't working. Well, you know, get wrecked, buddy. Yep, our positioning, keeping the lake on our side, absolutely perfect. And we're just going to roll them in here. Yeah, and they are not getting back on through on that side. They do have a fair amount of archers here, but we will... dismount here and lay the beat down. Here's our melee evasion. There's our Papa Don't Preach. Yeah, and Yujin getting beat down, or Yujin's a whole different guy. We beat him down in an earlier fight. I think we killed him on an auto because they walked into an ambush or some chunk move like that. Yeah, get wrecked. I said it. But here we have what I would consider a perfect setup. You know, we deploy in the exact right spot, neutralizing their cavalry. Their archers don't do too well, because, I mean, they're shooting into reclaimers, which basically don't get hurt by regular archer fire, right? And then all of them running away, never ever gonna get away, but trying to run away. And crucially, just doing so good, because with high morale, like, now we're talking, Zealots of the Way are awesome. And with 60 morale. Now, our multiple crossbows are getting shot by somebody. And we don't want that. There's the melee evasion kick there, and I'm sure we will escort Cao Jin into his grave here. Yes, there we go. And then these G militia are gonna like walk in and like, wait, why is everybody shooting at me? I'm like, well, you see, you finally arrived at the part of the game where I had time to micro. These Zealots of the Way are amazing. Oh my goodness, I love them so much. They're probably the king of the bump and grind of this middle game here. They're not even as juiced as they're gonna be someday. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Can't wait to get a whole bunch of amazing infantry and run over our foes. It is my idea of a good time. And here we very handily take this place. 206 kills on the multiple crossbow. You have to love it. You're given no choice but to love it. And when we eventually fight you and Cao, I want to bring like 4 or 6 multiple bolt crossbows all the time. Alright, do these guys have firewall moving? I don't think so. Be a lot cooler if they did. Alright. A glorious victory. Obviously, the outcome was never in doubt. We were always going to win that. If they had, like, a full health stack, we probably still would have won. Our dudes are pretty good. We want to swap those Yellow Turban shielded infantry for our good guys when we can. You know, they're not doing work anymore. These Yellow Turban warriors, you know, they show up, but more Zealots of the Way, for sure. Cao Jin, you are 22 years old, but your name's not Zhu Chu, so you're not making it out alive. Alright, here, Shu He, so we can get Reduce the power for the army. Encourage commerce. I think we just take condemn, go for the power, right? And Nanyang will be next on the menu. And we make enough to buy this next turn if we don't spend anything. Or if we just spend that much. Yes. Yeah, we're just gonna trespass over her lands here if she doesn't take this place pretty soon. Like, in fact... Yeah, no, let's just do this. A little bit of light trespassing never hurt no one. And he has an army over here, but he's like going bankrupt, I think. So, well, maybe not anymore now that we killed that other army, but yeah. Push him there, and maybe someone will help, and maybe they won't. And this army, such as it is, can come back over here, show the flag a little bit. Next turn, we'll be able to go to tier 10 here. And then, well, it's going to be a good time. One more turn for martial arts practice, which will get us one big research or a couple small researches away. Oh, we have a lot of level ups to distribute. All right. All right, we can make, yeah, going for these faction-wide benefits now, right? Because they don't really get better at being an administrator, although, you know, sometimes the effect, you know, the construction thing happens no matter what, but, you know, we definitely got to take it when we see it. Obviously, got to take it when we see it. Let's go this way because, you know, it's getting to research rate as well when available. Here we go, because that's, you know, that's tech. There's nothing better than better tech rate. Now we're up to 285, which of course 100 from Pengcheng and then from Luxian rather in that place. We don't have all of it yet. We will soon though, because Daoying is much on the back foot and, you know, is right next to us, and that makes it well, likely to become ours. Lady Wu will sign peace with us and pay us a bunch of money. I mean, yeah, sure. You know, she's not really on our radar. And when a lady from very far away shows up with a huge chest of gold and says, I don't want to be at war with you anymore, and I'm like, who are you? Yeah, we'll take the money. Lady Wu hasn't personally wronged the Yellow Turbans, and I'm sure when we get to her gates, she'll be accommodating as a host. And we complete martial arts practice. The weak conquer the strong, the tender conquer the rigid. In the world there is no one who does not know it, but no one will practice it. I like that our tech has Taoism in it. Makes me happy. And this guy gets Sage's attire. All right, yeah. So gets himself a little silver armor. He levels up. He has become wise. And here, we're just gonna bum rush the show on this.
力求上进。
I feel like it's the right thing to do. Not least because, I mean, like, you know, they'll only get more put together if we wait. This army probably can't beat us here. Ha! There we go.
正在行进。
This army, with our amazing movement, you know, the knowledge of the land, we march on through on our excellent
该
roads.
处理一下政务了。
And Yuan Shu, who loves me, has taken this land from Cao Cao. That's going to let us move up in this direction. I'm like, can we hit him? No. Move up here. And what we're going to do is...
正在行进。
get to the settlement. I'm like, can
回家的感
we...
觉真不错。此为
Yeah,
苍生
we
遗
get to
民
the
之
road
天下
here, and then we
为
can
暴
swap
虐诸侯之天
to
下。
ambush. And we're hoping he'll just walk right into it. We're hoping that this fool, this vagabond, this ne'er-do-well will just walk right into it. That's what we're hoping. Alright, so... do we already have a night battle thing? Yes. We have it from two aspects.
"新生之前，必除旧物。
Yeah, I think we just take condemn then. Alright, so the new tech. There's one for like 10 income all sources. We could just take that, right? But don't need more food. Do we take the construction time one just to turbocharge it all? I mean, it will help out everywhere. Yeah, let's do it. Because there's individual ones to drop construction time for things, but I think a -1 to everything is better than a -3 to some specific thing. Alright, and time to go to level 10 here. Boom, baby. And cheap buildings with good effects are desirable here. Commerce percentage, fine. Garrison there, pretty important. And then we'll just take this. Because while we're very fine on food, we are also going to be trying to upgrade everything when we can. Like, I don't think he has another army here. I just don't think he does. And despite our superior forces, it predicts a defeat. It's not going to be a defeat. It's just going to make me do the battle, which is fine. But actually what's going to happen is... this is a perfect time to realize that I've been playing for 4 hours and that lunch would be appropriate. Hang out with the Dao, you know, watch a video on the YouTube or whatever. But, you know, this has been an awesome video, in my opinion, because of how well we've done. I don't know what the quality has been. But I don't want y'all to have the impression of me as a guy that's, like, totally belabored by the notion of I'm just doing my brand of sumo, right? So hopefully that works. I'm having the best time in this campaign. Yeah, just everyone. I know, right? But yeah, we're gonna do lunch. We're gonna hang out with the dog, and then we'll be playing something else in the afternoon for a bit. We might come back to this, tonight. If you're watching in the future, disregard all the time and send some information. Maybe at like 8 or 9 p.m. we might come back to this campaign. But we're just gonna sit on it for a bit. We might play Triangle Strategy. Actually, might play Final Fantasy VI. Do a block of that. Could do a bit of another Crab's Treasure. That sort of thing. Not sure, but I'll be back around. And, sometime I might take a nap. Why don't I just tell you all the possibilities for the future? The sun could burn out. I could walk in, and then, like, my sister could look at me with my army behind me, and then she'll speak the deplorable word, and then suddenly no other soul on Karn will be alive except for her. Wait, that's the Magician's Nephew. I'm describing the plot of the Magician's Nephew from the point of the person against Jadis. I'm always doing this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you've enjoyed. Next time we will ascend. The tech will make sure of that a couple of levels or whatever, and then we will get to the next to highest rank, which will be very good for us, right? Or at least moderately good. It will be fine. But that's all I have for you right now, and perhaps in the future I will see you again. Sure hope so. Anyway, later, Ellie. I'm gonna go have some food now. What kind of food? I don't know. Probably some chicken ramen. Boiled it, Vote for Frederica! Anyway, I'll see you guys.